I'm Kathy Umland, and I am the creative mom over at Martin Williams Advertising. And I have a lot of history with the agency class, which you should be taking. Run, don't walk, down to the registrar's office. Nancy Rice is flippin' phenomenal, as you guys already know. Hopefully you've taken a couple classes from her already. But what agency is designed to do, and Nancy and I kind of developed it together, is to get you out and seeing what an agency actually functions like, what the roles are that you might be thinking about for long-term career planning. It kind of gets you the vibe and starts your network by meeting the people who are teaching the class and that you're going to be introduced to throughout the semester. So it is an awesome opportunity. You will know so much more when you're done than when you started. So hurry up, take that class. Okay, the focus at MCAD universally has a lot to do with the concept of entrepreneurship. And I get the question a lot about how does that fit into an agency situation, because often you think of an entrepreneur as being somebody that is independent, and that's absolutely not necessarily the case. You can come in and have that philosophy of how you work with your clients' businesses, how you manage yourself as a creative person. That can often mean things like self-starting, and that you take a lot of ownership and you can take an idea from A to triple Z and think of it from a different perspective. So entrepreneurship means a lot, and it's the kind of person actually that we like to have in an agency, especially at Martin Williams. It's just that whole philosophy of entrepreneurship that you have to think about how it will incorporate into any environment, not just as an individual skill set. You know, as a hiring manager, I am looking for people to have some kind of declaration as to what they're trying to get into. Not that that can't shift at some point in their career, because it often does, but it gives me a baseline of how to evaluate either the work that I'm seeing or the packet of information that I'm getting. So leaving it super wide open sounds like a good idea, like I just want to be creative, but it helps me to know if you're tracking toward art direction or writing or design, because then I'm evaluating your work based on that criteria. So it also holds true when you're talking to account planning, account management, those kinds of jobs as well. The other thing that I think can help shore up a resume when you're putting on things like, obviously where you've been to school, any internships that you have, jobs that you've done something that might be applicable to what you're doing. I don't necessarily need to know that you worked at Hardee's, but maybe you had a lot to do with customer service within that job, and waiting tables can be super applicable. It's kind of how you tie that all together. I pay a lot of attention to sort of those softer skills and the interests that you guys may have, and it sounds goofy, but it can, you know, if you're really into, you know, fashion design and rollerblading, and you've traveled to 64 different countries, that says a lot to me about you right there. And if I've got an account like the Mall of America, the fact that you have fashion in your interest level is already meaning that you're somebody that we're talking to as an audience. So you have a lot of you know, base knowledge of who we're talking to. So those kinds of things can really make a difference when you're getting down to the hiring process. What I like about this particular agency is the fact that it allows me a lot of latitude to use the skills that I have. I've got great people to work with. I have an awesome infrastructure that supports what I do. But again, I don't have a real solid job description, so I get to poke my little fingers into a lot of different pies, and that's a good thing. And I like pie. But it really is going into an environment, and each agency and business certainly has a different culture to it. I pay a lot of attention to who's at the upper echelon and who I'm going to work with and who I'm going to learn from. Those are all things I would have you using as part of the criteria as you're looking at places to potentially join. And you guys as students of the industry, a class like agency gets you into all these different environments, so you walk out getting a good sense of at least the initial culture hit. You can tell for sure if you go, oh man, that place would be awesome to work, or awkward. So, you know, you really should take those things, your gut instincts on a place, make a big difference. And Mar Williams, for me, has always felt really good. I love the people that I work with. The upper management is creative at its core, which was an important element for me. And, you know, so those, you have to kind of come up with a little bit of your own criteria that you're going to evaluate each place on. But do that. You're interviewing us as much as we're interviewing you. And keep that in mind when you're out talking to people.